Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. I don't know whether to give you a trigger warning or not today because we're talking about the Palestinian protests at various universities and colleges through North America. I'm going to keep it to North America because I haven't really done any studying overseas or in the South. So, it's a pretty big deal at the moment. Students are making governments nervous. And why are they making governments nervous? Because they're making their voices heard. Now, I'm not going to pass judgment for or against their opinions. That's off the table. I'm simply going to decide on their methods. I've been on strike lines before, mostly to support the people that were striking. And the organizers were very, very clear. Here's our boundaries. Here's where we need to be. Usually they pick somewhere that's pretty visible. And when you see somebody hold those signs up high and shout your chants and all that kind of thing, that's the way protest should be done. However, it's getting a bit unruly worldwide. Even up here in Canada, we've got reports of students doing some pretty malicious things. And it's not working out well for anybody. So if you had organizers that really wanted to make a difference, your permit says exactly where you're allowed to protest. Your permit says what times you're allowed to protest, and ultimately, well, you don't need a permit. You can have a simple protest, but the onus is on you not to violate anybody's personal space. This is relatively recent, although not really. Back in the 90s, they started to do this where they'd block off an entranceway to a university, whether it was the professors, the teachers' assistants, you name it. And they were looking for, better pay, better working conditions. But they would hold people up for 3 to 5 minutes before they let them in or out. It was incredibly inconvenient. And again, this is the kind of thing I'm not protesting. Huh. Let me rephrase that. I'm not disputing. Now, the other major thing we have to think about is the timing of this. School's out for summer, baby, as Alice Cooper put it. So, who are they protesting to? The campuses are at least half empty, if not down to about a third of their volume. And there's months to go until September. Like 3-4 months, depending on what school dates and times and all that are being factored into it. So they're pretty much annoying a small group of people. Now, it depends on the universities. Some universities are kind of fenced in from the world. And for them, I don't understand why they waste their time. You're annoying the bus drivers, maybe. Other places are like U of T downtown, where their campus is spread out across several buildings, and they're not directly connected. And you're downtown, so you're going to get the attention of more people. Now, since I haven't visited any of these protests, because again, I'm neutral on the issue, I don't know exactly how aggressive they are getting with the people downtown. York University, you have to really be willing to put yourself in trouble to do any sort of damage. And I like to think that they're not that stupid. Because again, if you have an opinion, if you have something you want to say, a protest is the right way to do it. Get your friends, get your family, give them some signs, and people are going to notice. I think, however, the slacktivist approach, which is where you send a bunch of surveys to people online, do you support this opinion? Do you support this opinion? You know, thank you for supporting the get rid of envelopes party. I think that's really the way to go. Since that was it the G20 visit we had back in 2016, 2015, whatever it was, people are too prone to becoming unruly at these events. I don't mean a couple drunk idiots get into a fist fight, but let's think about it. These are college and university students. They're in an area where they may have responsibilities, or they may just be waiting till the fall winter term begins. They literally have nowhere else to be. And I guarantee a few of them are abusing substances. But I can say that about any protest. It's not just the students. Pretty much any protest in the world, some of them are going to have substances on them. What kind of substances? I don't know. Make a list. I'm sure at least one or more of those will be there. Even the Association for Sober People, somebody there is going to be holding on to the good stuff. We need a 21st way of protesting. Because right now it's easy to go around. You see it the first time, you're caught for one day. The next day you know to go to Bay Street instead of Yonge Street, or whatever the case may be. Because there are a lot of students and people in general who want to protest, but you have a limited amount. You can only shut down so much at the same time. And after the people see the same signs over and over again, it's just not effective. I always loved that sign that came out, "You just prove billboard advertising works." No, I'm bored. I literally have nothing better to do. And I don't have a business where I could invest in billboard advertising. So your advertising is failing to connect with your target audience. And that's something protesters need to start thinking about. Students will get into an uproar about anything, literally anything. And they're happy to soldier on and, shout based on who they know and what they think. Because mostly like attracts like. You don't tend to hang out with people that you don't like. And while it's annoying, give them a couple of rainy days, nice bit of snow, although that's not likely in the summer semester. It'll disperse them right quick. So let's crack down on any violence. Absolutely. If anybody's smacking somebody or hitting them with a sign or whatever they're doing to trespass on other people's rights, let's get rid of that. It is not necessary. That being said, we need the protesters to remember that they need to stay within certain areas. It's not a free-for-all. Just because you're holding a sign doesn't mean you have rights that you don't normally have. If I walk in the street during any other situation, it's called jaywalking. Whereas protesters think because they have a sign and they're supporting something, they can walk into the street. Nope, don't work like that, homie. So we need a more civilized way of protesting, and as much as I dislike slacktivism, it's far less disruptive and probably accomplishes more. That's my opinion. I don't have any data to back that up. So with that, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show, or at least you got some insight out of it. If you did, please like, share, because sharing is caring. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the notification bell just in case just in case you want to be notified every time we upload a new episode, which is pretty much every single day at noon. And we hope you have a fantastic day.